Hello guys, welcome to this video. So as part of video series of explaining linear regression, here in this video we are going to talk about how we work on the database and how we download and extract the database and make it organized for our implementation. Here I just provided the code for you. I'm just going line by line and explain it to you. So sometimes I go online and search and show you different features of different parts of the code for your information. So you have an idea what is inside, what's happening, and you can use them for your own benefits. So inside, I'm just inside the Google Collaboratory, and I just recommend all of you to work with Google Collaboratory, specifically when you're in the training process. So in the training process, it's very good. Google Collaboratory have a lot of packages already installed and prepared for you. It gives you a nice Jupyter notebook environment. And let's just get started. So here are just a couple of standard libraries that I just imported here. So the famous matplotlib for plotting and NumPy as NP, the pandas for data processing. Seaborn is one library for exactly plotting. Let's just go see what is Seaborn. So here, as you can see, for statistical visualization, Seaborn is designed for you to just help you make things much easier. And it's specifically designed as it's part of the name for statistical data visualization. So matplotlib is a little bit more broad, but Seaborn is more professional in terms of special things for statistics. So let's just go ahead. So this part, try TensorFlow version 2x by percentage sign. Try to load TensorFlow 2, and that part it's like checking, just a sanity checking if the TensorFlow 2.x is loaded, otherwise it will pass and load the TensorFlow. So let's just run by Shift Enter. We're just going to run the first cell, and this was the support of that. So let's just get started. So here, as you can see, we just loaded these kind of documents. Here it just says it's a warning, pandas util testing is deprecated. All right, we don't need that. Otherwise, we just use the recommendation format. So let's just go ahead and try to load our TensorFlow. So from TensorFlow, we import Keras layers, and TensorFlow as TF. As you can see, now you can print the version of the TensorFlow, and we are going to load the TensorBoard for the visualization. TensorBoard is actually a very important part of the TensorFlow, which it's as it says, its goal is to visualize. As a visualization toolkit, it gives you a nice interface, and you can basically, as it mentions, track different visualization like loss accuracy and different important values in our model. So let's just continue. So when we just actually loaded the TensorFlow, now we are going to remove the remaining logs from our previous calls, because it's like some sort of garbage collector. It's not exactly garbage collector, but it would be nice if we remove the logs of the previous session that Google Colab, because it gives us a basically environment, and we need to check what is inside that environment. So let's just go run this part and ls to see what we have. We have just one folder called sample data, so we're not going to work with that. So let's just continue. To download the data set with Keras util get file, it's a helper function, so we just simply use this, and the data is housing data, and the URL is housing data. So let's just go to the URL of our data set. Is a data set from University of California, Irvine, one of the machine learning data sets that they have. So this is the repository. To make sure that you understand the data set, so I just brought the features here, but I will get back to that later. So let's just explain what is this helper function. So if you go to the TensorFlow, it just explain It's like a helper function. You just have a file name, you just have the origin, and here, as you can see, the file name is housing data, and the origin is the URL that we have here. And here are different arguments, the original URL of the file. So there are different, basically, arguments. We didn't use all of them. We just use the ones that we needed the most. So let's just continue and run it. So as you can see, it downloads the data set. Oops, it gives me an error, certificate verified failed. So let me see what is happening here. So there is an issue. So when there is an issue, that Google Collaboratory have a very nice feature that here lets you search Stack Overflow. And okay, no, it's not something. Okay, let's just customize it. It's like, yep. All right, yeah, there are other people that get to the same problems. So some people, in fact, yes. All right, yeah, looks like this is going to solve our problem. Let's go here, copy the SSL, import the SSL, and try again. Yep, it solved the problem. Very nice. It just downloaded that. As you can see, we could easily search for the error, and it downloaded that. No, we don't have any problem. We already downloaded and have data set ready to go. So the data set is the Boston house price data set. There are different characteristics. So there are 506 number of instances. I don't know. This is not quite a large data set, but it will help us to simplify things, and it's very easy for us to implement our model on that, so it doesn't take crazy amount of time. So the first 13 features are numeric, categorical, predictive features, and the last one, which is the attribute 14, is the median value, which is the target variable. So in this linear regression, based on the other 13 features, you want to see if we can predict what is the last feature, which is the median value variable. So there are different attributes: CRIM, per capita crime rate by town, ZN, portion of the residential land zone, different categories. So to make this data set ready, we just use the pandas library. So for the pandas library, we just put the column names like this, as we have the attributes, and this is the raw data set. You want to create the pandas data frame. We actually use the read CSV. Let's just search the read CSV to see what kind of different elements you have. So the first one is the file path. As we just inputted, we just dataset path. We just downloaded the data set and put in the dataset path. So you just go read the file. The names are the column names that we set. So there are NA values, comments, and different things. We basically use the very standard variables. For more information, you can just go to the pandas website, pandaspydata.org, pandas docs, and search for the pandas.read CSV. So make sure you understood the function of reading. So we just create a copy of the data set instead of using the main one. So it's a good practice. We don't really need to do that, but we don't want to modify the data set that we already read. So we just make a copy and work on the copy. So using the data set tail, we are going to load the first actually 10 lines of the data set. So this, the last, which is the tail, which is the last 10 of the data set. If you use head, it is the first 10 elements of the data set starting with index 0. So let's just go with tail again, tail and head. And this is a nice demonstration of the data set that we already have here, as you can see as the output. So here in this tutorial, we just wanted to make you familiar with the data set, how we get the data set, load the TensorFlow, pandas, and actually process the data set, put it in a pandas data frame, and so on and so forth. In the future videos, we are going to talk about how we are going to pre-process the data set, how we're going to, in fact, train our model. So thank you so much for watching. So for a continue of this tutorial, you can watch the next video. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to comment if you have any questions.